Well, hello again. We're pretty much getting to a stage where, oh, that sun is a bit bright. So can I just bring down the blind so that that's there? We're pretty much getting to a stage in here now where it's ready to start using as a camper van. And the one thing that is missing, and is probably going to be missing for some time, is going to be the Rimo seat system that I'm waiting for. So it's saying I've put this down temporarily, but the sort of rails are in, the floor is in, the furniture is in, everything is done now apart from just getting this seat from Germany over here. And it seems that there is a big waiting list for these after they shut the factory down for some time. I have no idea when that is going to arrive, so I've got to wait and see. It's just going to be completely wait and see. I've got a couple of weeks off work in 2 weeks' time, where I was hoping to set off and go on holiday, but at the minute, who knows what's going to happen. So I thought in this little video I'd just start doing some talking about bits and pieces of things that I've done to sort of finish off or tart around with a couple of things that aren't kind of in the main build of the van, so to speak, but just little accessories that lots of people do, and I've done them as well. So first of all, these little wind deflector thingamybobs, I popped those in earlier today. They're the Heiko ones. Focus on that, and they are dead easy to fit, really. You just put a couple of clips in, some double-sided, some sticky tape sort of here and down there. You just put one on either side. It's literally a 5-minute job. So that's that bit. Then what else have I got to show you? Probably just this other little thing here, which is basically you can have the toilet in this section down here on these vans, but as you can see, I've started loading it up now with stuff for camping, if and when I do start to use it. So this little box I made here, and I've kind of got this driftwood and the white gloss now combination with stuff, so I'll have the shelf up there, I'll have a similar one at the back, I'll have the under seat board and a drawer under there that'll all be faced off with this, and the backs of those seat panels are in the driftwood stuff as well, so there is a bit of a combination of it going on. That'll be a grey cushion made in darker material, that's just temporary. So there's this little box here that hides the toilet in there, and it also, when that cushion arrives, serves as a little seat that I can just move around, sit there. Because I haven't got a pop top, it just helps me to do that. But also on the side of this, because one thing I thought to myself, well, I haven't got a bin, so on the side of this I have made a little bin, not a huge bin, but just one that holds kind of carrier bag sized bags, just enough to, you know, a day bin or whatever, and take the bag out, throw it away, put a new one in. And all as that is a piece of the 15mm ply on top in the same colour scheme, bit of T-trim around it, and then down here, this bit here is actually from an old shredder that I threw away. In fact, I'd thrown that onto a pile of stuff ready to go down to the tip, and then I thought, oh, I could use that. But to use it, it would have been about that wide, and I wanted that walkway to be clear through the middle. So I had to cut this down with a jigsaw and take one edge off it. So then basically I had to then come up with like a series of things to try to trim around that and fix it and come up with ideas. So I'll go through some of those simple bits to show you what I did. So first of all, I glued on the back there a couple of those flat magnets that you can get just on there. I ran 2 pieces of ply, about 1 inch wide down the sides, screwed those onto there, and then I screwed down the side of this with some screws to hold the sort of wings of that plastic bin in. And basically, if that bag just comes out of there, you can just see a bit better, can't you? So you've got those 2 bits of wood, this plastic thing here, and then the 2 magnets on there, and then 2 bits of side trim down the side, and that's it. And then the top just sits in there like that. It doesn't rattle, and it doesn't rattle because I've just put some little blocks on there to hold that in place securely when it's there. Now obviously when you put the bag inside, this bag's slightly too big really for this bin, but when you put the bag inside, you kind of think, right, I can lift it over the front like that, that makes sense, but how can I fasten that at the back? And that's where those 2 magnets come in. So I made this little bit of the spare plastic that I had, I just sort of cut that down, glued a couple of magnets onto the back of that, and then the idea then is that those go into the, can you see that? Those go into the back of there and just locate like that. So that that back, I'm not holding this camera right, where's the lens? Maybe that's better. So that back bit there goes in and just holds that back, and obviously you can take that back off again and bring that bag down to the level it should be, which is kind of more like sort of something like that, and then you just put that back in place like that, and it just holds it. So it just means then that when that, if I get that actually right over the edge there, as I say, that bag is slightly too small. Carrier bags actually fit perfectly into it, but that's broadly what that would look like. Just sits around the front, magnets to the back, and then the lid just goes on, and it's a little bin. So yeah, just little jobs like that can take quite a bit of time, quite a bit of capacity to think them through. I stuck a little coffee machine in there for those pod things that you can get, and when you're on holiday it's quite nice to have a decent little coffee, so that can go in there, and that'll probably be swapped with the electric kettle every now and then. What else have I done since the last video? I had to try and seal off this gas box here, which I ended up, it wants all cleaning and tidying, which is a bit of sealant around, but I had to put like a sealing stuff in here, and then I had to sort of fasten it up with like this extra plastic trim on the edges there to fasten that, even though I'd sealed it, to the side of that, so it keeps it out, it keeps the body of that little sealing rubber strip proud and doesn't allow it to go in too far. And that just means that the door seals. Now of course when you close that door now, it is a bit harder to fasten that latch because it's pressing against all of that seal on the back edge, the bottom and the top and the side there. I also had to do the dropout thing at the back of this unit, and with these Rymo units, the gas bottles go in here, and as you can see from that one there, sorry, there's a dustpan and brush and a little fold-up bucket in there as well in the way, but as you can can you see down there, will that light go on up there maybe and point in? Oh yes, sort of. That there, if I can get that in the right spot, those 3 holes there drop down into like a chute that's all sealed off at the back, because there's a cupboard here at the front, and I thought, hang on, I'm putting gas bottles in there, that's all gas sealed around there, and that's like, even there's a sort of vinyl, soft vinyl bit even sealed up at the corner there, and they've put sealer all around, but actually isn't the gas just going to come out of that hole at the front? And it hadn't occurred to me that actually it drops out in a separate panel behind there, and then that separate panel sort of V-shapes down to a smaller section at the floor, and in that section at the floor is where you drill through for your dropout hole. So I've done that, that's all sealed off now, and touch wood, if it ever does leak, it will go down through without coming out of these holes, which is what I first sort of thought it was going to do. So that's that bit done. So that's the, you see that's a bit pushing out a bit there, isn't it, just on that edge. Maybe I have to try and adjust these hinges somehow, or that catch, to settle that in a bit more. So done the gas dropout, and also did one gas dropout under here as well, and gave this a bit of thought, because the sort of gas dropout, as you can see, is in the floor there. That goes out the van, but I've also put a second one in there at the side. Now, why have I done that? Because again, the hob is kind of up, is on the top there above this cupboard, and then it is then how can I explain this? It's kind of all sealed at the back again with that sealed off vinyl stuff. Now, it could be that it leaks into this cupboard, and it could be that it leaks behind this cupboard, because at the top it isn't sealed. So up here behind this drawer, it isn't sealed. So the gas can go out of the back. It can't come up above the unit. I mean, I know gas doesn't rise as such unless it's blown up, and it'll start descending, but it'll be descending behind. So had I have just put that dropout hole there in the floor, it would have been collecting behind that. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Maybe. So the idea is that it will fall back through there and through the hole, but God only knows with these units. I mean, they're very nice design and stuff, but actually some of it is a little bit more sort of difficult, and I've stored that on its side so that that hole, you're not able to see that, are you? But that hole isn't obscured there. When that box is in, it's still there to act as a dropout hole. So that's that bit done. So toilet in there, little bin made. Need to get a cushion for the top of that. Put the window wind deflectors on. The next job that I've got to do, and I have absolutely no idea where I'm going to put this, but I bought one of those induction wireless charger things, which go into typically into a work surface, but because this work surface has like a steel sheet or two steel sheets running through it all the way along back to front, those little lines you see on the edge there aren't just trim, that's actually sheets of stainless steel running all the way through, and you can see it better probably in that little thing that comes there. So you see the sort of edge, it's just one sheet in that one, but then if you look on the ring there, you can see that it actually runs all the way through, and that's fantastic for strength and look and feel and fanciness. But in terms of being able to drill a hole under there and stick a an induction charger on, it would be quite difficult, because you'd have to drill through sort of that, the metal, then that again, then the metal, and you've only got like what, 3mm of that laminate stuff left. So I'm not really going to do that, particularly when this unit cost me so much money. I'm not going to risk screwing the whole thing up for the sake of that. So I'm leaving that as it is, and just put some lights on. It's getting a bit dark in here. I'm going to leave that as it is, and then where would I put a charger? That's the thing. I mean, I guess I could put something on that side, but I need to wait for the seat to come so I can tell exactly where I could put, you know, could I put a little shelf higher up sort of on that side? The ideal is when you're in bed at night, because the bed's going to cover all of this area here, that you can have your phone near you, isn't it? So you can take calls and stuff if you need to, or make calls if you need to. But at the same time, usually I charge my phone overnight and then use it during the day. I don't know about other people, maybe they use their phones more through the day and have to charge it through the day as well, but generally if I'm driving, I'm able to charge it at the front. If I'm in bed, I want to charge it somewhere at that end of the van because that's where my head's going to be. Yes, a bit of thinking required as to where that will go, but that's it really for this little video. Just thought I'd drop in and tell you that I am waiting for my seat. It's been ordered about, well, I mean the whole deal's been going on for about 6 weeks, because or 7 weeks, or maybe even 8 weeks now, because first when I talked about it I had to get the rails in, then the floor in, then I bought this unit which gives you the exact space, because this is a Rymo unit as well, that these are designed to be slimline so that I can get a 1205 seat in that gap there. And the seat itself has been on order for about 3 weeks now. I'm going to guess that it's not going to be available for when I want to go on holiday in this van. So that's why I put this kind of soft rubber mat down, because with that and a bit of an air mattress, one of those little camping air beds, and I've got like a Z bed in home which has got a little mattress on it too, so I could take that out, so I could put this down, the little air mattress, and the mattress, that'll be perfectly, this on its own is fairly comfortable with the sleeping bag. I'll be able to probably fall asleep quite happily. Talking about falling asleep, that's exactly what I want to do. So in any event, that's where we are. Thanks for watching. Do take care of yourselves, and hopefully when the seat arrives I'll be able to do a bit of a full walk around video and show you all the bits and pieces. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.